Okay, and we are back with another live and a message from the dragons. So I have been doing these lives regularly now, and lately there has been a different energy coming in. And if you've been keeping track of the videos that I have been posting, there are some people joining. Hi. I will be sharing the channeled message in a little bit. I'm waiting for some people to join, and it was definitely very interesting. So the last couple of messages, they were all about a big clean up, a massive cleansing, recalibration, kind of getting an overview of the situation. Kind of the way they showed it to me was this forest fire, and all this stuff has been burnt to the ground, and now you get to see what is left. What is the truth is being illuminated, and the illusion is being burnt down. So that is something. There's quite a lot of people joining. I'm gonna wait a little bit, and then I'm gonna share the message, because lately there has been a new energy coming in, and I've named this energy the violet rose frequency. That is a name that came to me very spontaneously, because this is a combination of this compassionate Christ consciousness and the violet flame. So this cleansing energy of violet fire together with this heart opening compassion and unconditional love. And those are two energies that are kind of occurring simultaneously. And the way they showed it to me was this is the violet rose energy. And it is kind of a subcategory of the violet flame and Christ consciousness. And for those that may have done my Essene teachings course, I talk about the Ascended Master Saint Germain in there, and how one of his incarnations is Joseph, father of Jesus. And he is all about the violet flame transmuting, and also obviously very connected to Christ consciousness. So let me see what else I had written down before we start sharing the message. So yeah, what is going on is that a group of dragons also came in, and they are connected to this violet rose frequency. There's a funny story connected to this. So some of you may know Ali Wilkins, who is also a very good Akashic Records reader, and we did an exchange a few months ago. And she saw this group of dragons that was wanting to come forward, wanting to work with me. And there was this violet purple energy around them. And I had been working with the violet flame for a couple of years. I had been working with dragons. And all of a sudden, all this stuff kind of came together, and I understood that it was these dragons, and they were calling themselves this collective of violet rose dragons. And they were going to be sharing more messages. So the message that we have this week will be from them. And I've also been doing healing sessions in Telos with the violet flame, and they have been assisting me for years. So it was kind of like, surprise, it's us. We are the dragons that have been helping you. Anyway, I'm gonna get started on sharing this message that they had to share, and also just kind of tune into this message. And just kind of maybe close your eyes if you want to, or just listen and try to see where this applies to your life, where you can feel that this applies to you and the situation that you are in right now. And when I'm done, you can share in the comments, because I do want this to be a conversation. I like going live so that you can also see each other's experiences in the comment section. And when you're watching this later on replay, also share your comments in the comment section. So I'm gonna begin. So these violet rose dragons, they are all about this Christ consciousness grid, supporting this grid and assisting in transmutation of the trauma that is being held inside Mother Earth. And it's also being held inside of our bodies, because our bodies are a part of Mother Earth. And inside of us all is this violet colored rose. That is kind of what they were showing me, and that this is being activated right now. And I will show you guys this. Some of you may have already seen this portrait that I'm working on right now for somebody. And all the work like the people that are coming to me lately, they are all connected to this frequency because, of course, that's how frequency works. You magnetize to you the people that can benefit from the stuff that you are sharing, the medicine that you are ready to share. And of course, because we are collectively really working on transmuting a lot, this is coming up for a lot of people. So let's begin let me first maybe check some comments because there's people commenting, and then I'm gonna share the message. So I felt this too. Yes, I'm glad to see that. I saw that beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yes, it is. I really like this one too. Yeah, and I'm glad people are indeed feeling the same energy, and that's why I like doing these lives, so that we can see that you're not alone. You're not alone in feeling all of this stuff. So let's begin. So the title that they gave me was A Cloud of Darkness Lifting. And they also showed me an image, and I'm going to show you guys the image in a little bit because I tried recreating it with AI. I tried recreating the image. I'm gonna start reading now. So, after a time of cleansing and shifting, and indeed seeing what all needs to be seen, it can also be. I cannot stay long because I'm sick. Okay, yes. I'm just gonna begin because I had some weird stuff happen too with my internet. I wasn't sure. I'm gonna start over. It's fine. These things happen. After a time of cleansing and shifting, and indeed seeing what all needs to be seen, it can also be a lot to truly look at the shadows that are coming up. But becoming stagnant will not help you right now. Many of you are now at a point where you have to go through the fire, and you may only see the negative aspects of fire. You may fear that you will get burned, but this is a loving, cleansing fire that is here to illuminate you and make you shine. It is here to get to the core of your being, to the part of you that is ready to shine. We are asking you to go within and feel, become still, and feel everything that wants to be felt inside of your heart. Notice your feelings, acknowledge your feelings without judgment. And if judgment does come up, accept it, notice it, and accept your current emotional state of being. Look at it and realize that you are not feeling and going through this all on your own. You have your entire spirit entourage with you, and you are never truly going through these things alone. And in times of great transformation and a massive cloud of darkness that is rising up out of the crust of the earth, we want you to know that you are not lifting this alone. So I'm gonna quickly, because there's more, but I took a break. I don't know if you are gonna even, can you see this image? Ignore my 5 million open tabs. Don't judge me. Just look at the image. That's kind of the image that I saw. Like all these angels and humans are together working on lifting this cloud off of the earth and kind of pulling away this layer, this cloud, that it's ready to be detached, to be lifted off of the planet. And you can see this when you look at the state of the world, when you look at the chaos that's going on. But so they continued, we are speaking to you through your heart, through your emotions. We are helping you to do the heavy lifting by assisting you on getting clear on what it is that you desire, what it is that you are ready to let go of. And we are helping you to also cut these cords and say goodbye to these old stories. Many of them can manifest as emotions of grief, pain, fear, because they have been stories of comfort and habit for lifetimes and lifetimes. And now is the time for the final big change and karmic cleansing. and they talked about this karmic cleansing stuff in the past couple of channelings, and that we are not doing this alone. Many of you are ready, and it feels paralyzing, but you are not doing this alone. You are in this violet rose energy of loving compassion, where it is safe to release suffering, where it is safe to release pain, because you will also feel the loving embrace of the ones that already came before you, such as the Ascended Master Saint Germain of the Violet Flame, and many of the masters that are now underground in Telos and other higher frequency pockets of civilization underneath the Earth's surface, working with the violet flame that has been transported underground after the fall of Atlantis. This flame is getting stronger and stronger again, and Mother Earth is sending this healing flame to all of you, so that you too may cleanse yourselves as she cleanses hers, because we are all one and connected to her. Her ascension story is your ascension story. You may be here as a visitor, a volunteer. Nevertheless, this has become your home now, after many or only a handful of incarnations. You are invested in her, and she is invested in you. And this is teamwork. Communicate with her, work with her, and collaborate with her. And a time for collective healing can truly begin. So that was quite a message. And I was surprised because these dragons, I did not know what to expect from them, and they are connected to this violet rose frequency. And I have been doing channeling sessions with people where also Saint Germain comes up in connection to, of course, the violet flame and also this rose frequency. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, for those. This book, I'm sure that you have seen this in some, like, this book looks completely worn out. This is my favorite book. If you would like to learn more about this book, this book is all about this violet rose frequency and the rose lineage in general, the rose frequency, this book right here. And I finally found a way to not make Instagram mirror my things that I'm showing. There is a mirrored filter in there so that when I show you cards and books and whatever, it's gonna show up as normal. So definitely read this book, because this is just a great book to read if you want to understand what this is about: releasing suffering, sitting in your discomfort, sitting in the discomfort, in the pain, and not being afraid of it, for instance. So let me take a look at some of the comments. Oops. Okay. Yeah. The Libra Soul Sisters. Yeah, that sucks that you are sick. I hope that this message was helpful and that you feel better soon. Oops. Scrolling is always just a disaster. Let me see. Because I accidentally click stuff and then some other screen pops up. Technology. And it is beautiful and so powerful. Yes, I thought so too. And we can all recognize this energy somewhere in our lives. We are going through a transition of something. Thank you so much. This offers me a deeper estranging about my prophecy from 1997. And I believe still is coming to fruition. When will I be able to use my gifts? I wondered back then. Yes, more and more people are going to be able to release a lot of this. Why is my screen all weird? There's something weird going on. I don't know. There's definitely something strange happening. Yeah, okay. I'm just not going to mess with it because I'm going to mess something up. We are definitely in times where a lot of this stuff can be released. A lot of blocks that are still standing in the way of us fully stepping into our gifts And even with myself, like I have been channeling for many years. I started doing this when I was 13, 14 something, started channeling my spirit guides. I'm going to be 38 this year, and there's still constantly stuff coming up. And yesterday evening, I was having a conversation with somebody important in my life that is basically a mirror to me, that was saying, is there still somewhere inside of you where you are still dealing with unworthiness or resistance to your channeling abilities? And I had to admit, yes, there's still layers and still layers that I'm constantly working through as I'm offering these gifts, always, because I'm dealing with my own stuff. I'm sitting in this medicine, in this violet rose medicine, letting it wash over me, sitting in the discomfort, feeling what needs to come up. Otherwise, how would I be able to fully give this to you? How would I be able to tell you what it is like, what it's going to feel like to sit in this medicine, what it's going to feel like to deal with this frequency, if I don't even know what it feels like? So let me see, because that was kind of a long answer. This is so perfect, Divinity says. Thank you. The Libra Soul Sister says, yes, so if you missed the channeled message, if you are now only joining, definitely go watch the replay. And if you have any questions in general about what has been coming up for you, now is the perfect time to ask. If you just want to share in the comments what has been coming up for you, energy-wise, anything that you notice that you have been resisting. What have you been resisting in letting go or looking at, but it's kind of been wanting to come up and now you can no longer look away from it? That's also something that this violet rose frequency and these dragons and violet flame are really good at showing us, look, this is what it is that still needs to come up, and it is safe to release it. It is safe to let it go. There's no need to hold on to it, because we are in this time, in a lifetime, a very specific incarnation where a lot of this stuff is like it's tying up loose ends. And I also wrote that in a post, the very first post I made about this portrait, I think, because I get a bunch of messages when I work on these portraits for people, and this person's higher self, because this is basically the person's higher self, how they want it to be portrayed. And she was saying, okay, so what is it that you are ready to release? What is wanting to come up? And you are safe and you are being held while you are releasing all this stuff. And often it feels, because we are tying up loose ends. We're tying up loose ends of lifetimes. Like it said in this channeled message too, it's lifetimes and also stuff from ancestors, stuff from the collective that you are feeling and that you are suddenly confronted with, and then you can feel paralyzed. But in this feeling of being, oh my God, I have all of this stuff coming up now, it's safe to just let it all go and have compassion for yourself. Because if you're going to hold on to it and become this rock that doesn't move, you're going to get solidified, and all this energy is going to become like a rock, and you're not going to move anymore. And it's going to not be comfortable to sit in this feeling. And that's why the combination of the violet flame and this rose frequency together is just the perfect mix to transmute the stuff and also have this compassion for the whole process, if that makes sense. So if you feel comfortable in sharing what that looks like for you, you want some advice from me, right now is the time to put it in the comments. So let me see. So beautiful. Thank you. You are a very old soul. Thank you for your messages and presence. Well, thank you. And I believe that everybody here is also equally an old soul, because otherwise you would definitely not be watching. And at this point, you would have already clicked out of this live. So this was definitely also a message for you and a confirmation for you, just to see that, oh yes, this is where you are as well, and we're all going to be just fine. And it's going to feel a little bit crazy for a while, these energies, because we're releasing all this stuff, but in the end you're going to be just fine. It's huge, dense, and also so amazing to have awareness and tools and transmute in clearing generational traumas and past lives. Yep. Because a lot of people say, oh, sometimes it's better to live in ignorance and to just be like, oh, wouldn't life be easier if we could just not know about all of this? And I have asked myself that question. I've had conversations with other people, and we've all come to the conclusion, no, because imagine what this must be like for people. And with compassion, I say this, and without judgment. Like, imagine that you would be living your life and you're being affected by all these energies, and you're not aware of the fact that there's planets that have specific electromagnetic fields that are influencing us. You have the moon that is influencing us. You have solar flares. Then you have your entire birth chart. You have your own karmic cycle, soul contracts, your own past lives, Akashic records. You have phobias that come from past lives, perhaps. You have stuff that you put in contract that you wanted to work on that is coming up because you're at an energetic crossroads where stuff is supposed to come up, because this was supposed to be a catalyst for you. If you don't know any of this, you're gonna just think, oh, my life is just gigantic shit show, basically, and it's just an explosion of insanity, is what you're gonna think. But now you have some kind of a structure, and you understand not everything can be explained by the physical reality. You understand that there is way more going on, and that it's okay to not know all the answers, and that it's okay to have no control, and that you can surrender all of this. And that this book, again, I'm going to show you guys again. This book is great if you want to learn how to surrender to the unknown. Anna, grandmother, we're going to do a little Essenes lesson, some Essene wisdom. So the Essenes, that is the mystery school that Jesus, Yeshua, was a member of, and his family. And the Essenes are essentially a colony of ancient Atlanteans that went to Israel. They settled there, and they kept on sharing the Atlantean teachings. And then Jesus, Yeshua, which is his actual name, was born into the Essene community, and Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, was the matriarch of this community. And they worshipped God, but not in the sense of worshipping, oh yes, God, we are so little, we are beneath you. No, they realized that God was in everything. God was in the unknown, God was in the known, God was in the planet, in the plants, in the birds, in whatever, in your body, you are God. And with the breath, that is how they worked. They did a bunch of breath work. The Essenes, they did a bunch of toning, chanting mantras in Aramaic. And that is how they worked with God, with their bodies. And they were constantly trying to surrender over to the unknown and trusting that God always knows better than what their plan. And when I say God, you already know, most of you, I'm not saying the male patriarchal God from the Bible. When I say God, because I posted a thing yesterday, a quote, and it said something along the lines of recognizing God in the flowers, in the birds, in the beauty of nature, and it said him, and I changed it. I put a cross through it and said him, her, them, because God is genderless, is basically non-gendered. It is. God is. And God is in everything that exists, and that's why, yes, source energy, fine. You can whatever you prefer, creator, source, the universe, God. But I want to take the word God back, because I feel like Roman Catholicism stole the word, and that word does not belong to them. So as a psychic, as a starseed, as whatever label you would call me, a witch, whatever, I'm taking the word God back. Okay, that was my little rant. So let me check the comments. So, oops, there's quite a lot of them. Let me see. I was ranting for a while. I see. What do you recommend? Soul, family, goddess. Yes. What do you recommend about with these energies? The best thing is really connecting to nature, connecting to and slowing down. And when things get very intense, that means we are processing so much. We're getting a lot of downloads and also releasing at the same time. So there's traffic in two directions happening. We are getting tons of insights and downloads while we are releasing. It's almost like the outer layers are detaching and releasing while on the inside new stuff is coming in. And the best thing that you can do is constantly try to connect to water, to nature, and doing things with your body. Doing things with your body and finding a structure. And that's what I talked about last time. It can be real simple stuff. And this is what I help people with too in my mentorship, because not a lot of people know that I also offer one-on-one mentorship. And I'm going to start to offer text bundles too with text-based mentorship. And I help people with small things, because we can't all meditate for 6 hours a day. We have stuff going on. Like, okay, you can do 10 minutes of qigong exercises or yoga exercises, like yin yoga, where you do slow exercises that really work on the meridians of your body and releasing stagnant energy, which is really good right now. And that's something that I just started doing again myself, because I noticed I needed to do more with my body to release this energy. My body was asking me to do more to release what was stuck. Drinking a ton of water, drinking enough water. We are chronically dehydrated, and I'm saying that as somebody that is here sitting drinking a cup of green tea, which is not water. It is water, but it's tea. So I need to follow my own advice. And just small things like, okay, you can't meditate for a bunch of hours every day, but try to at least take time to yourself to do something that you could view as a meditative kind of activity. Read a book that you know is going to be enlightening for your mind. Listen to clearing statements, affirmations. 10 minutes a day is all you need. I custom make them for people that I do mentorship with. Then we'd look at what is it that you need, that you specifically want to accomplish. And just simple things like every day saying, Archangel Michael, please come in and assist me with this. Or if you don't like working with angels, or you work with your ancestors, you work with spirit animals, you work with whatever guides you are comfortable with, calling upon them, or with fairies, nature spirits, and asking them, like it said in this channeled message, we have to remember that we are not doing this alone, but it can feel very isolating when you're the one that's doing the work. You are the ground crew. While these other guys are all up there somewhere and they're not in the physical bodies. But we have to remember that we have to call upon them. We have to turn on the walkie-talkie. We have this walkie-talkie. We have to say, hey, can you answer me, please? And often we forget that they are actually on the other end, that we can ask them for help. We forget sometimes, especially when we are going through stress, when we are going through a whole bunch of stuff. It's so easy to forget that we are not alone, because we get so distracted by the 3D world, because it's all we see. So it's one big initiation, which is something that I talk about often. And in this book too, I talk about in my course, the Essene Teachings course, and some webinars that I've done about Gnostic teachings. I always call, and this book also really illustrates this very well, a mental crucifixion and resurrection. Because of course Jesus went through a physical crucifixion and resurrection, and the second coming of Christ, all it is really is a whole collective mental crucifixion of old stories and programs that are ready to be just crucified so that we can resurrect as this more enlightened version of ourselves that is released from suffering, that we can just release all of the stories that we have started to identify with in this descension cycle that we have gone into after the fall of Atlantis. And then we are now rising again in consciousness, so in frequency, and we are ready to stop identifying with these stories. And that's what we are releasing. That is what this violet rose energy is doing. We are basically in this flower, kind of like this lady. I still have to color in the face and stuff. This is half done. It's not done yet. That's why she looks a little pale. She's not supposed to be pale. So anyway, let me kind of look at these comments, because I have someone deliberately cording into my solar plexus and stopping me from sleeping. Yes, so these things are also going to come up. I don't talk about this a lot, but I do sometimes talk about this soul contracts, and I have a webinar. It's called Celestial Understanding of Traumatic Soul Contracts, and it is very affordable. You can find it on my website. It's full of super good information. And what I say in that webinar is I give advice also on understanding why these cords are happening, how you can cut these cords, what you can do to cut these cords, but also to keep them from coming back, from reattaching. Because like with the solar plexus, that is where our safety feeling is, the center of our safety in our body on the planet. And by deliberately doing exercises such as, for instance, like deep tissue exercises to release stagnant energy from your physical body and open up those spaces. So maybe researching some exercises such as, for instance, Qigong or Yin Yoga, which is specifically for stuff stored in the body to release it, especially exercises for the core, for the chest, for the stomach, all of those areas, to really work with opening up your body, opening up this energy. And I don't have it on right now. I usually have a selenite necklace. Sleeping with a selenite stick or a selenite something rock under your pillow, or even under your shirt or something, a selenite, and really meditating with this selenite. So this is just an example that I know that I said in the webinar, doing that. And what you can also do is listen to high frequency mantras, high frequency tones, and stuff like that. And that's easy stuff. You don't have to put a lot of effort and time into that. You can be doing the dishes, you can be in the car, you can listen to this stuff. Solfeggio tones for the solar plexus. Or if you feel, okay, I have stuff going on with my sacral, with my third eye, find solfeggio tones that work for that. But what I love to do is to work with Aramaic and Hebrew, because those are the two languages that the Essenes worked with. And Aramaic is something that's, I heard my teacher, Oliver Huntley, I did 2 courses with him, the Aramaic Light of Wisdom course and the Celtic Church course. And he says the Aramaic language is a code stored in your DNA. So if you have this connection with the Essenes, or you have this connection with Jesus, like the mystical Jesus, not the Roman Catholic Jesus. We're not talking about that guy. We're talking about Yeshua ben Joseph, son of Joseph and Mary, but the Yeshua that's not in the Bible. We're talking about the Yeshua that performed miracles, that was a healer, that was a heathen, that was a pagan, actually, that was a druid. And there is also a saint, and I forgot his name, completely forgot his name now, and he says, Jesus is my druid. I think it's an Irish saint, and one of the other teachers in the course mentioned that that's the quote that he used, Jesus is my druid, because also if you're more curious about Yeshua and his travels, how he ended up in Avalon, England, why the Druids are connected to Jesus, to the Essenes, through Christianity, how it has way more to do with Celtic teachings, with Druidic teachings. I would definitely recommend that you take a look at my Essenes course, but I'm getting so sidetracked. Anyway, Aramaic mantras, such as the Aramaic Lord's Prayer, is very powerful. It's been proven that by listening to the Aramaic Lord's Prayer, people have spontaneously started to heal. And it is a shield from the inside out against negative attachments. It is a shield against any cords. Anything that tries to cord itself to you that is not of the frequency of that mantra cannot attach or reattach. So try out, I have an article on this. It's on my Substack, and it is titled, because I wrote this about a year ago, it's something along the lines of psychic protection, and you can find it on my Substack, which you can find on my website or in my link tree. There's a link to my blog, and type in the search bar psychic protection and the blog should pop up. Yeah. I think that's kind of all the advice that I can give you right now that I can think of. So, Divinity says, I totally understand and it makes sense, but I will take the opportunity to ask or get a confirmation that probably I know the answer. Is it normal to feel someone's pain or suffering that you have a soul contract with? We love Violet Flame. Can we transmit that for them? Okay. I know they still need to do the work. Yes, and that kind of ties in to my video that I posted a few days ago about, is it ethical to read soul I need a sip of this tea because this is getting very no, but this is actually all very good stuff. So if you have a soul contract with somebody, and I made a little illustration in this video, everyone has free will. So what you can do is you can always send somebody energy. And if somebody does not want to receive your energy, then they are not going to receive it. It's just like how you have somebody that goes to a Reiki practitioner and they are saying, oh, well, it didn't work. Then yes, on a subconscious level, they may not have been willing to receive. The higher self may not have been willing to receive the energy. And the opposite is also true, that if you send energy to somebody that consciously is not aware of it, maybe their higher self may be open to receiving it. So what you can do is say, okay, I'm sending this energy. If it's in alignment with the higher self of this person to receive this energy, I'm sending this. And if not, then it can be returned to source or something, whatever feels good for you. And then you can feel it too. When if you're kind of intuitive, you will feel that it is being accepted or not, and then you will be able to feel it. You also have to kind of feel the barrier. You have to kind of feel when you are intruding and when something is being received by you. And that is in general something that psychics, I think that is crucial for psychics to learn, how to feel the barrier when you are reading energy, or how to feel when something is indeed being accepted. Then you will feel this magnet. It is being sent there and it is effortless. When you are sending it, it is easily being received by the other person. So I think that it would definitely not be harmful to take these people with you in your meditation. And if you cannot talk to them because there's no contact, what you could do is always try to respect the fact that they have free will and say something along the lines of, I'm sending this energy, if it's in alignment with their higher self, to receive it right now, because maybe they do have a contract for them to go through this in a specific way that cannot be interfered with. And that is why it's important to say if it's in alignment with their higher self and their soul contract and their own journey. So that's what I would do. I hope that that helped. Our bodies suffer from these energetic blocks. Yeah, definitely. Because I was starting to get a migraine actually right before, because I also know the blocks that I'm going through. And because I'm sharing all this stuff, I always go through the stuff myself when I share it with other people, like I already explained. And I think all teachers, like if you are a spiritual teacher and you are like, oh, I'm so perfect, I don't have any things that I'm going through, I've solved everything, then how are you going to be able to tell somebody from experience? You are going through the stuff with everybody. It's like when I made my dragon course. I made this whole dragon course, and I went through my whole program together with the people that were taking my course. I was going through the whole thing with these people. And if the dragons interest you, that course is still available. You can still go check it out. And I also have free videos about dragons on my Instagram, on YouTube. So if dragon stuff interests you, go check out my YouTube. So let me see. So yeah, you can definitely have energetic blocks in your body, and those are really like the deepest layer of the blocks. They are going to start to manifest as physical pains, and now they can start to act up. So you're going to be like, I'm doing all this work, all this energetic work, I'm trying to face all these shadows. Why is it getting worse? It's almost like it's getting worse, but it is because you are detaching this core wound. It's like, imagine that there's this thing and it has like hooks and it's in your body, and you are kind of pulling it out of there, and sometimes like a tick. This is gross, I know, but if any of you have had dogs ever, you know how disgusting ticks are. You know, when they are full of blood and they're all gross, you have to take them out of your dog, and they look gross. And then you hear this weird sound, like this weird, I know this is getting gross. And then you pull it out, and it's like it has resistance. It doesn't want to let go. It doesn't want to release. That's what these blocks are like, and you are pulling that last little bit out of there. And that's why it will hurt, because it's detaching and it's acting up. And when you are moving these energies, you're getting to this deepest layer of these physical blocks. And so before it gets better, it's going to get a little worse so that it can completely detach. And then it's important to ground, go into nature, work with water, work with your body. Make sure you drink enough water so that you are constantly renewing your energy and the cells of your body. And then you will realize, like little by little, once you energetically shift, your body is going to follow. It's going to also shift and get better. Human collective wounds are being brought up, and these blockages have got to be released. Exactly. That is exactly what is happening. And we see it on a collective scale. We see it with all the stuff that is going on in the world. And like this channeling also said, we have our individual things that are coming up out of the crusts of our bodies. So just like you have these earthquakes that have been happening, all this stuff that's been going on, you have these wars, all these things that are going on. The thing is, however, people say, oh, the world is in a crazy state, the world is not good. Look at the Middle Ages, look at just, there was so much stuff that has always been going on. But we are now at a point where we are no longer accepting it, where we are no longer okay with it. That is what is going on right now, that we are no longer accepting any of that behavior collectively, or a part of the population at least is no longer okay with just letting all this stuff go on. So yeah. Here to clear it all, yes, is the book about shadow work. Well, this is actually the story of Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, and it she was somebody that got to be 600 years old. And this story is about her life. It's about the Essene community. It's about Jesus and Mother Mary and his lost years. It's about his entire metaphysical journey, but it's also about what it means to be in one big initiation, what it means to be in a mystery school, what it means to go through suffering in life and still choose God. And if you were here a little bit ago and I explained my definition of God, then, or what it means to recognize yourself as source in a physical body, and to recognize that even when you don't have connection, or she was literally on a raft floating on the ocean, and she was like, God, what do you want from me? What would you have me do? I am here. I have listened. I am constantly listening to you. What more do you want from me? That you're being stripped of everything. And then all these shadows come up. Are you still believing? Are you still trusting? Are you still having faith? How spiritual are you now that you don't have your comfort? You have to sit in the discomfort. Are you still spiritual? Are you still believing in all the things that you were believing in when everything was comfortable for you? So that's really what this book is about. And yeah, it's just a really good book. And I could, fill up an entire live just talking about this book. Mm-hmm. I heard this message loud and clear in the past. I believe now is the time to spread this message. Yeah, definitely. It is really more and more people are ready for it. Yes, no gender. Yeah, about God, indeed. God is in every blade of grass, every grain of sand, exactly. Taking God back. So I'm glad to see that people are agreeing. Yeah, this scrolling is just really annoying because each time I click something, oh my God, I missed a whole bunch. Be patient with me. Do you have any idea for dealing with a negative entity in my home? I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about the mantras and the article about psychic protection. That also goes about stuff in your house. And if you live with other people, then it gets tricky because you can clean your energy, because usually an entity that is in your house is going to be connected to your energy. It's going to be somebody that lives with you. So all of you would have to make sure that you're practicing psychic hygiene. And that doesn't have to be some whole big thing. It's just being aware of what are you consuming. What foods are you consuming? Not only that, and I'm not saying be like super healthy. You can eat some unhealthy stuff every now and then, but be conscious of what are you eating, what are you putting in your body. When you do eat some junk food, okay, fine, but make sure that you eat fruits, that you drink water. What are you consuming mentally? What thought programs are you running? Are you somebody that watches a lot of soap operas where they are yelling at each other? Because that seems to be very normal. And it's something that I don't really do. So when I accidentally catch one of these shows playing somewhere, I'm always so like shaken up from, wow, this is how people communicate. And this is subconsciously stuff that I'm now consuming. So, and this is crazy for some people, but this is how it is. These negative thought forms, entities, they are also being created and passed on through the media that we watch, that we identify with. And then you can bring that into your home. But what you can do is cleanse your home with sound. And that's something that the Essenes were also very big on, sound healing, chanting, creating frequencies with your body, and that's going to cleanse your body, but then also chanting in your house, playing Aramaic prayers. Like the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic is supposed to be a very high frequency. I just mentioned that already, but definitely check out that psychic protection article on my Substack. And I'm going to try to remember to maybe link it in the description. And if I forget and you see that I'm posting this, remind me and I will put it in there. So, animals of all kinds visit my home in a busy suburban neighborhood, like the coyotes, with the message that we are working together, validating the synchronized effort to purge. Yes, that is really, I have a thing with birds and bees, but my name is Deborah, and that literally means honeybee or the priestess. And bees have always been coming up for me a lot. So bee messengers, feathers, birds, coyotes are also very spiritual animals. I used to live in the desert in Arizona, and there were always tons of coyotes around, and their sound would be super calming. But I also have a connection with the Sirius star system, and that's called the dog star. Sirius A is the dog star. Wolves, dogs, coyotes are all connected to Sirius, to the frequency of Sirius, which is also connected to the third eye. So the inner knowing, claircognizance, knowing things, seeing things, the just intuition, tuning into your inner knowing. Coyotes, they're coming by to tell you, yes, you know that you're on the right track. You know that you should trust your inner guidance. So that is actually super cool. Kundalini dance. Yes, dancing, exactly. Dancing, I used to dance. I stopped doing that now, but definitely swimming, for instance, that just came up too, because that came up for me yesterday too. Swimming is also very good, especially if you have problems with your joints or problems with other forms of exercising. Swimming is very good if you can get access to maybe like a saltwater pool, but if you can't, then just find a regular pool, whatever. It's going to be better than not moving at all and just sitting and not having any exercise. So I strongly feel that there is a wolf in sheep's clothes affecting my and my daughter's life. Oh, I also have some cards because I was gonna pull cards too. So if you want a card, let me know. I have a few different decks. I'm gonna pull a card for you. The Mother Wolf Walker. That's actually a very cool name. Affecting you and your daughter's life. Yeah, and these things are going to come up right now. They are coming up now. If there's people that need, like, they're going to be revealed. Let's put it that way. They're not going to be able, with this frequency shift, with this stuff shifting, they're not going to be able to hide their true identity much longer. A time for healing is what came up for you. I feel this means you are not necessarily going to be asked to go through some crazy confrontation. Like, and if there is one, it's not going to affect you. You're going to be very calm about this. You're not going to be all blown away or, oh no, what have you done? Because you have seen this coming. Like, you knew this was coming, but this person is not going to be able to play their, this just came flying out, gratitude, fulfillment. So despite the fact that you know there is a person in your life that is kind of hiding, that is not who they actually, that is not who they portray themselves to be to the outside world, you're still grateful for the fact that this has happened because you see the lessons in this. So this penguin over here, and penguins are very family oriented animals. So you and your daughter, I feel this may even be like bring you and your daughter closer together. I hope that that resonated. Last night, a little brown bird came to my door. It continued to slap its wings in the window until I turned the light and acknowledged him. Just after me acknowledging him, he flew away. Is this a message? Probably, yeah, because who was it yesterday? Something happened, something similar happened to somebody else, also with a bird, and they flew away the moment that they were noticed. And stuff like that definitely is a message. And what you can do is immediately go within and see, and immediately the first thing that comes to you is probably going to be what that was about. And if it's not something that you're clear about, you can just ask to be given more messages, like, what was this about? Can you let me know in a dream? Or you can look up maybe spirit animal meanings of birds in general, but usually they are angelic messengers. They are kind of this in between state of, they're not really an angelic being, but they are also of the earth. They are a messenger that can go in between realms. That is how I see birds in general. At this time last year, I felt dragons were present, but so brand new for me, I am not sure even now how to receive this energy. Yes, I have an entire playlist on dragons on YouTube where I introduce what are dragons, what are they exactly. And dragons are a form of angelic energy, but they are here to really be this shielding energy, an extra battery almost. They are a battery for the angelic essence that you are, so that this essence, like they said in this message here, you can fully shine while they are here supporting you in this ascension process. And dragons often come up to give us that extra little push to really break free from old patterns and things that maybe we feel like, oh, can we really do this? Are we ready to do this? And then the dragons will come in. In my life, my dragon guide came in when I was going through a very crazy time in my life in 2017, when I was in the middle of separating my then husband and leaving with my daughter, all kinds of stuff. I had no idea what my future was going to look like. And the dragons will come in when they can see what you may not be able to see in yourself in that moment. You may not be able to see your own strength or your potential, but they can see it. So they're going to come mirror that to you. They are like, look, this is what you are. You can be this powerful being too. And that's what we are here to show you. Is it getting very dark? Maybe I should turn this little light on, because it is getting kind of dark. So just stay with me. I don't know if this is even going to make a difference. I don't know. So definitely go check out that dragon playlist on my YouTube. You can find it by going to my link tree, or you can just find me on YouTube by typing in my name. It is the same username as my Instagram one. So let me see. Diana Cooper has some great books and meditations on dragons. I have this deck here. That is the Diana Cooper deck. And I can confirm that the dragons that she actually uses in these cards are actual beings, because I channeled dragons and in people's Akashic records saw a bunch of different types of dragons that I didn't have names for. Different kinds connected to different frequencies, and then I get her deck, and actually this was a gift from somebody, and I see these exact dragons that I have been seeing in people's Akashic records, like these golden Atlantean dragons. And I have a whole thing, a whole PDF on the Atlantean dragon knighthood of a it's a special knighthood that is connected to Atlantis, and it's all these golden dragons and these rainbow dragons, the Syrian dragons. So this is a very good deck if you want to play around with dragons. It's Diana Cooper's, what is it called? The box is there. My water bottle is blocking it. Anyway, Google Diana Cooper Dragon Oracle deck and you will find it. So the Anna grandmother book. Oh yes, for anybody curious, this is titled Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, and the author is Claire Hartsong. So it's just Claire Hartsong, Anna, Grandmother of Jesus. And if you forget what this is called and you want to find it, or you want to know the exact spelling of the name, just leave me a message, leave a comment, and I will write it down for you. Let's see. We consume more than just food any of our senses can consume. Exactly. That is true. Christine Noel coaching. Okay, you want a card. I'm feeling angel cards, the angel deck. So let's see. So if anybody, I'm going to be here for another maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'm going to start to wrap it up. So if you want a card, let me know. Outdoors. And I was just talking about how important it is right now to be going outdoors. So Archangel Jophiel, go outdoors, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new ideas. Yep, so I feel that this is definitely, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of new ideas. Like I'm feeling there's a lot of different stuff going on, and you want to grab all this stuff, but it's all just kind of flying all over the place, and it's a lot, and you're excited about stuff, and you're also kind of overwhelmed. So go and find nature, and you're going to find that all this stuff is going to start to line up, and it's going to start to make sense. That's what I'm feeling. So I hope that that was helpful. Divinity. Yes. What card? Lemurian cards. These are really nice cards, but they are gigantic. They're just really big. That's why I like using them, but I don't use them on a daily basis. And after that, this, let's see, Circle of Life, Clear Energies, Channel. So Divinity, yeah, I think because last time it was always like these Source Dragon, Golden Dragon things I think I pulled for you last time. Now it's like the circle has been completed, and it is connected to the violet energy, because I know you work a lot with the violet flame too. You've been doing a lot of work, and it's paying off. I feel it's paying off. The energies are now like there's a feeling of completion. The circle is complete. So I hope that that was helpful. It feels calm. I feel calm energy for you. Brandy, can I have a card? I'm feeling the Moonology cards for some reason. Now, if you're watching this on replay later and you want to participate live, subscribe to my newsletter to be notified of these lives, so that you can also, oops, and this comes flying out for Brand. Nothing is yet set in stone for Brandy. That it's not a bad thing. It feels like a good thing. You have multiple options right now, and you're kind of like, okay, but this is it's making you feel like there's no foundation and there's too many options, and you just want direction. But it's not a bad thing, because it's actually a good thing. It means that you have multiple options. It means that anything is possible right now. And I'm pulling another one. Choice, trust, love. And it's kind of a wolf type of thing. And that's what we were just talking about just now. This is an invitation for you to really go within, trust, and feel into what your intuition is telling you to do. So yes, I am K9 crazy. Oh yeah, it's all dog theme. It's K9 dog wolf theme. I love it. An animal card. This is a spirit animal deck. I'm gonna pull one of these for you. There's a lot of people today. This is fun, because then at least there's some interaction. So this is all very good. And then you guys can also like hear from each other what's been going on for you, and then you can hear immediately live that you're not alone. The sun, vitality, joy, and it's a hummingbird. So a hummingbird is always doing stuff. They are full of productivity. They are always going from one place to the next. They are full of vitality and joy indeed. So I feel that whatever you are doing in your life, you're on the right track, and that things are really smooth. They're going good. Or if you have stuff that you are wondering, is this a good idea? Then it is, because this feels like it's whatever you are unfolding in your life is all for your benefit. So I hope that helped. Joe wants a card. Dragons. The dragon deck. Let's see. So sometimes I kind of stop and just see what card pulls my eye. This is a knight. See, I was just talking about the Atlantean dragon knighthood, which is also very connected to this divine feminine priestess energy, an oracle energy. And I know Joe is very connected to oracle, divine feminine energies, goddess energies. Golden Atlantean dragon helps you remember the wisdom of golden Atlantis. Awaken, bring back your knowledge, gifts, and talents, and reclaim your mastery. This is what this looks like. This is a nice card. I like the pictures of some of these cards. Some of them are a little weird, but some of them are really nice. I hope that was helpful. Also, if you are ever interested, anybody watching, in a personal reading where I use the cards, but I also channel messages from the dragons. I do timeline readings where we look at specific situations that are going on, where I look at a specific timeline and option choices, where I channel the dragons together with some cards. So know that that is also always an option. I can't wait to get outdoors, Christine says. Yeah. And Divinity says, thank you. I'm glad it resonates. Carrie, am I too late for a card? No, you are not. And I feel Lemurian cards for you. I bought a dress from her, by the way, people. One time, a few years ago, I bought a super nice dress with angel wings on it from her. But I don't know if you do you still sell clothing and stuff? Because you also started doing coaching, I saw. I have not been able to keep up with a lot of people's Instagram accounts because Instagram is kind of also hiding some people and like making it more difficult, I feel, to find like-minded people. That's why I started doing the lives more often again. Arise, know and flow as the love you are, bliss, and it's dolphins. Dolphin energy. And I feel this is all about like compassion, also loving yourself and really accepting what you are here to do, fully embracing yourself and becoming your best friend. Accepting all these parts of yourself that maybe in the past you were kind of in resistance to, and that it is like fine to be completely who you are. So I hope that helped. Okay. She still makes clothing and stuff, so go check out her account. Okay, let me see. What time is it? I still have some time. Also, for those that are curious, I do have a lot. So I have the Psychic Protection blog. I also have a lot of other free stuff. I have an entire Akashic Records free course, basically. It's an entire playlist of 33 videos on Akashic Records videos, like where I explain the nature of time, what are past lives really, that they're not really past lives, they are parallel soul experiences. I have this dragon course that is online that you can take, but I also have a free playlist all about the dragons. And I also, if you wanted to dive deeper into the Essenes and a more mystical Jesus, a more mystical version of Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, I have my Essene Teachings course. I have this webinar on celestial understanding of traumatic soul contracts. If you want to understand more about toxic people in your life, or that you have soul contracts with that are meant to be broken, that is karmic, that are meant to be completely healed and for you to release. So this is all really coming up for a lot of people. So I do have a webinar on that too. And I also have mentorship, so one-on-one mentorship. You can message me about it if you feel like you really need some more help with this. Just let me know. And I have some more comments. Dragons of last year, you were spot on because they came to see me through this last year. Everything in my world blew apart. I was married with kids, employed, boom, all gone now. Yep. So that's when they will come in. They will come in when you feel like your life is falling apart, but actually this is all, it's like they always say, the golden dragons, the seraphim, they always say they are burning away illusion so that the truth can be illuminated. And it's going to look like a disaster for a while because you're in this fire, and it's going to look like a big disaster in the fire. And you have to let this fire cleanse you completely and surrender to it. So that's what that looks like. Yeah. Thank you so much. So grateful, and we'll be in touch. Well, thank all of you for being here. I'm trying to think if there's anything important that wants to come through before we end this live. A last card maybe for all of you watching, for something to keep in mind. So definitely rewatch the channeling part, the beginning, and kind of, if you arrived later to this call, go and watch the beginning again with the channeling and kind of just close your eyes and see what immediately comes up for you. What comes up for you, and then you will know what you need to focus on, what is ready to be released. A new start is coming and a time for a healing. These two cards. A new start is coming and a time for healing. So that is perfectly, and they are also kind of violet in color. So definitely focus on, if you feel like stuff is really chaos, it is because a new start is coming, new energy is coming. So you need to release this old stuff first and have compassion for the process. Have compassion for this process, have compassion for the phase that you are in right now, is what I would say. And I think that that is the end of the message for today. So thank you all for joining me. And if you need any assistance with anything, any readings, whatever, or you just want to see what I have to offer, don't hesitate to message me. I have free courses, all kinds of free stuff, videos, all kinds of stuff. Check out my website, my link tree, to find out more. And I will be doing these lives regularly. I try to do them twice a month. I try to share channeled messages every week on my Instagram, on YouTube, in my newsletter. So subscribe to those if you want to get the free messages, because I know that sometimes just reading something that is familiar to what you're going through can be enough to just get you going for one more week, and to know, okay, this is happening to more people. I'm not alone. So that's why I urge everyone to subscribe. It's not like, oh, like I can make money off of you. Like, no, it's because these messages are here for the collective. And everyone's going to be able to get out of these messages what resonates with them, and the little puzzle piece that they need to then complete their own puzzle. This was very poetic ending. So on that note, I'm going to end this call, and thank you all for being here. And I will be back with more later. And have a great weekend. Bye bye.